If you're as old as me, you probably remember some of those marketing books that try to reduce a business down to its pure essence in just a few words. And I think that's a little bit how I see entity marketing. That if you can bring your business essence down to a few well-defined topics, specifically entities, then you can really go deep into the psyche of humans and into the psyche of machines alike without going too far away from your message. But have you ever thought about having a salient emotion in your messaging? So we talked a little bit about topics and how relevant an individual entity might be to a page of content. But what about adding an emotion into a marketing message? That should be consistent if you're going to do that. But if you're going to do that, let's say you're going to have a business where you're going to say, you know what, being playful is something that we want to do all the time. So, you know, Twitter might do that. Grok, have you ever tried Grok as a alternative to ChatGPT? It's got a fun mode, for example. But playful isn't in itself an entity. If I go to Wikipedia and put in playful, then it redirects to play. So if you wanted your business to be playful in the way it communicates, maybe you want to think about something like fun, which is an entity in Wikipedia. It's got a Wikipedia page, it's well defined. If Wikipedia defines it, then Google define it. I'm not saying there's not other things that Google might understand as entities, but my point here is that finding an emotion as a strand that can go through all of your communication is possibly a really good idea. But if you're going to do it, try and tie it back to a specific entity if you can. Or insightful, for example. So I looked at it, insightful. The word insightful does not exist as an entity on Wikipedia, and it might then confuse things like insightful player, idiot a day, a bunch of other things down here. But instead, you could maybe have a look at synonyms for insightful and choose one of these. So maybe understanding is a synonym that you could work with. So if I go in and then have a look at the concept of understanding, then yes, okay, there's other databases other than Wikipedia, but understanding is a perfectly well understood concept in Wikipedia. So maybe you've got to decide, does your business want to start with the emotion of playfulness, or does it want to start with the emotion of understanding, or does it want to start with the emotion of seriousness? I don't know if seriousness is an entity or not, but try and find something that has got a well-defined meaning that the machines can tap into as well as the humans. And once you've found that emotion, tie it into your messaging, tie it in as maybe a staple emotion, a staple entity that you're marketing around. So you might be marketing around products, but your brand wants to keep that salient emotion in all of its messaging. Something to think about?